What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square Knot, and you're tuned into my podcast, Square Knot Live, where we talk about music, real issues, meet great people, and get into fun and engaging topics. With that being said, let's get into it.
What's up, everybody? I'm trying to make sure that I can see who's. Here we go. Here we go. So, I'll make this real quick. This particular um, chat, I wanted to make it about something that, uh, well, everyone knows that before, I had to go into retirement. Um, I was a tech technology specialist doing a lot of different work and things. And over the course of the years, I've always managed to um, utilize several tools to help me get jobs done. And one of the major tools that we find out, especially when you're helping people, clients, family, whoever, when it comes to modifying documents, mainly PDFs, you have to turn to a solution, and that solution was always Adobe Acrobat. Now, back in the day when you would purchase computers, whether it be Dell, HP, if some of you guys old heads can go all the way back, you'd have like Packard Bell. I don't know if you guys probably even remember that, but that's how far it goes back for me. My first official computer that I owned was a 486 SX25 that had 4 megs of RAM, 4 megs of RAM, and the hard drive was like, I think it was like what, um, 500 megs or something like that. It was crazy. No hardly any space, but it served the purpose for back in those days. And then all of a sudden, things started coming out. I was one of the first. I remember in San Diego, Circuit City had this big sale on these 1 gigabyte hard drives that were made by Kana at one time. For you tech heads, you guys know what Kana was, and you know what Maxter was. Then, of course, Seagate came into the picture, and so on and so forth. But anyway, let's speed it up, get back, because I don't want to stay too long. Um, the whole thing with PDF editors is where I'm talking about today. Just bringing this tip to you. If you've ever had a computer and it came with Adobe Acrobat, maybe 9, 10, 11 Pro, something like that, and you are using it, and then all of a sudden in these recent years, when you're trying to use it, it comes up and says that number one, for software that you purchased, because you had to purchase it when you purchased your customized your machine or did whatever, you had to purchase that. Um, that all of a sudden Adobe makes you create an account and actually log in, so that they can keep track of that software. Number one, that really got up under my skin because I don't really like the idea of uh, a software company or any server constantly connected to my machine, with the exception of the internet, because we all know that the internet, if you don't know, I'm getting ready to school you now. The internet is a web of different servers all around the world that allow you to interconnect with different areas of the world, which then produces what we see today as web pages. So that you have no other choice. When you are on today's high speed internet, you are basically on a big LAN or WAN, local area network. that then spreads into a WAN, wide area network. So uh, that's the only servers I really like. But then all of a sudden, you had to start signing into Acrobat to use your software that you paid for. Number one. Number two, the software then was being monitored by Adobe, and what they did is they put a limit on the number of years that you could use the software. Now, for anybody that knew back in the day, especially when it came to Windows, Windows used to make their software, and then any OSs or anything that came after that, they always made it somewhat backwards compatible. Not so much with Mac products. Mac, that's a whole nother silo. That's a whole nother world where they sometimes you're forced to forget about the old and just come with the new, which costs you money. But I don't see the mindset of that where people just love it so much. Even though I do use both Mac and PC, but I'm predominantly a PC person. Um, but getting back to the Adobe, so you sign in now that keeping track of your account, the software that you purchased in the recent years, you find out that all of a sudden your software don't work anymore, or they say that it has expired, and all you do is utilize that software to edit PDFs, maybe convert a document to a PDF, um, and that's pretty much it because you don't really have to use the e-signature function in Acrobat. I don't know too many people that actually have, especially once the service DocuSign came out. DocuSign made things so much easier, along with there were a couple other tools out there that made it so much easier to sign documents as well. But Acrobat now, when they started several years back, they started this subscription model. 2021 was the actual physical last downloadable version that you could purchase in full and have it, but it was due to expire this year in 2025, which didn't make sense to me because I was like, if I purchase the software, I should be able to use that software until I stop using it or until I see a next upgrade that I can buy in full. Well, yeah, you can buy it in full if now the software that you paid maybe $349, $249 for back in the day, now it's over $1,000 if you want to even try to purchase. So they get you with the subscription model, which is $15 a month, and there that's into perpetuity. There is no stop to that amount that you're paying. So you'll never pay into it. And their thing is that you'll always get upgrades. Well, I don't always want the upgrades because I don't use it for but the two or three things. Hey Glenn, I see you. So I'm like, icy stand in the house. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, why are they doing that? And for you guys that don't know about software subscriptions as well, remember you used to get a CD or you back even before that, you would get a floppy disk. If you guys, I'm taking it way back, doing a little history here now, but you used to get us go to the CD and the DVD. You would get your software, you would install it, and then you'd be able to maybe have it on one more computer. They would say no more than two per license. You couldn't use them simultaneously. In a lot of cases, some would allow you to use it simultaneously, but nonetheless, then I know Adobe was one of the first to go to what we have now as the software subscription model. This software subscription model then took that company and made them quadruple the money that because they make the software now one time. They're not pressing this. They're not doing any of the media parts of the software. They're producing the software, they're putting it online, you download it. They're producing it one time. and millions of people download this software every day. So just think about the money that's being made every month, $15 a month on a subscription. And then you give them access to something called a creative cloud, a creative cloud that logs into that is constantly running in the background of your system and monitoring your software on your system. So if you've not noticed, if you have this on your system, you've not noticed, you'll see where, let's say you reboot your system or you happen to log out or you do something, and then you open up like, because I use Photoshop, I have to use it every once in a while. Or you use any other Adobe product and you make the system, oh, you clean out your cache or you do a virus scan and you just clear out everything. When you open up that software, the first thing that pops up before you are allowed to access that software. Now, remember, you paid for this software and you have been paying for this software, this subscription. The first thing you got to do is you got to log into your account so that it can verify that you have paid in order to get access to that software. And if you just click cancel, it's just the whole software. So now you're in a fight. I call it a fight because I'm like, I paid for this software. You saw where I've already paid for it last month. I shouldn't have to keep logging in. And plus, why are you still monitoring you're sitting in the back of in the background of my computer. And if you close out the Creative Cloud, it won't let you do anything. So I got really upset these past about a month ago. I was trying to just convert one a Word document to a PDF, which I'll tell you a little secret about that as well. But I needed to do some advanced stuff to this document besides just printing it to a document, which I'll tell you about an easier way to do that without even having uh, uh, Acrobat installed on your machine at all. Only the Acrobat reader, the only thing you would need on the machine, which you don't need to sign in for to have the Adobe Acrobat reader, which is the most intuitive software. I will give them that, but they do try now to make you purchase certain things if you try to use any of the tools. So don't fall for that either, because there is a solution. As a technician, I've always had to have different things, especially when working with servers and doing different things, setting up raids, which is about business continuity, oh my lord, continuity, uh, where you are making sure the data is that there's a redundancy in data being copied across disks. Well, sometimes you run into issues where there's part of the hard drive called partition, which basically you're sectioning off the hard drive. But sometimes you have to troubleshoot those hard drives or something would go wrong. And you would see, what's up, Michael? You would see where you would have to maybe repartition or maybe do something with the sectors on the hard. And there's this company that I've always used because the software is called Partition Magic Pro. And it's made by a company called Ease Us, EASE, and a capital US, all one word, Ease Us. And they make excellent products, and they've made excellent products. And I've been using them, I'd have to say, since like 2005, 2006. And I think they started way back before that, maybe 2001, 2003, maybe 2004, something. Anyway, Ease Us, EASEUS.com. Check them out. But they used to only, have those high end tech tools like that. But now Ease Us has actually expanded their whole line of offerings. And one of the offerings is in the form of a utility. And that utility is a PDF editor. Now, when you go to the PDF editor, you can do everything that you do with Adobe Acrobat. You can do it with EaseUS PDF editor. You can you can convert images into PDF. You can edit PDFs. You can do add images. You can do all kinds of different things with this software. And here's the kicker: 50, Adobe Acrobat charges you a subscription, which again is running on the back of your machine through Creative Cloud. They're saying that, hey, we want to keep your stuff updated, but it's more about monitoring. Don't be fooled by the okie doke. And they charge you $14.99 a month. Plus, there's some type of tax or something like that because I keep seeing that I get charged $16 or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm looking at it. But anyway, at least it's $15. You might as well a month. $150. We said, what's that? 14, $15 times what's that? Times 12 per year. So you got 150 plus another 30. It's like almost $180 a year that you're spending. And this is into perpetuity. This is not ever going to change to where you actually have purchased the software in full. Well, EaseUs PDF editor product, which is a great product. It's intuitive. All the tools are right there for you. There's tons and tons of stuff that you can do with this particular product. You can do everything with it, even create forms and all that stuff. The only thing that I said Adobe Acrobat may have over EaseUs is that when you're creating forms, sometimes it will try to identify some of the forms and do it at the forms there, the text fields there automatically. But it's not 100%, and it's never been 100% either. But with EaseUs, you'll do it manually, but that's fine. I'm happy for that because guess what? EaseUs has a monthly subscription. Of course, 1 month you can do it for $20. You can do it for a year for $49. Or guess what? You can buy it one time with lifetime upgrade for $79.99. And that's what I use now to do all my PDF because I am sick of Adobe Acrobat and the way Adobe is doing with the software. And if I had another tool, which I do, there is another tool out there, and I'll share this as well. I'll share it here shortly because I do use Photoshop, but there's another tool, a free tool out there that you can use um, that does just as good, literally just as good. It's just web based. Um, but think about that. You pay one time for this tool, you get lifetime updates and everything. And that's the beauty of Easy because a lot of their products, you can buy a lifetime purchase one time and you get the lifetime update. That's it. That's a beautiful thing. And yeah, I'll put the name in the chat for sure. Because I think it is definitely worth uh, being noted that and it's called the E plus PDF editor. And they have a ton of products, a ton of products. I mean, you would be surprised at the different things that they have as it relates. And this started out as a company, like I say, a company that did a lot of work with, that does a lot of work with, for technicians, made our jobs easy. And I actually am putting the actual link to the PDF software. But it made our job way easy because when we had to partition server hard drives or do any of that work, that Partition Magic Pro made life so much easier. And I've been using them for decades. And like I say here recently, I was looking for an alternative because there's so many other alternatives out there that just don't cut the mustard. Like, for example, another secondary tool that I was using was PDF Candy. But PDF Candy has every tool except for like two, and one was forms, editing, and things of that nature. So I got a little frustrated with that after I paid for that. I still use it sometime, but not too much. Now that I have the ESUS there, I've shifted to that. So the PDF Candy is just sitting. But now here's the kick. Yeah, oh yeah, here's the kicker now. Hey, Allie, how you doing? Um, they have, like, for example, well, they don't have the actual Office product yet, but if you need an Office product, I can tell you about one of those as well. Now they have where you can take your Word document or any Microsoft Office product and convert it to a PDF, turn it into a form, do all of that. Yes, you can do all of that for sure. Now, for those, I said I was going to share this. For those who have Microsoft products on your computer and you need to print it to a PDF, you want to convert it to a PDF because some people have asked this question of me. Why do we need PDFs? Well, think about it like this. You I'm going to say you are creating a form of your own, or you're creating a document of your own. You're creating a letter of and you need to send this out to 100 people. Would you really trust sending your raw, editable Word document out to these individuals? Because when you send that raw Word document out to them, unless it's someone or if it's a requirement, sometimes you may have to do it because there is some requirements in some companies to send it like that way. But if not, would you trust someone to take your document and not edit it or modify anything that you put in it? That's the question you have to ask. And that's why PDFs are there. PDFs serve the purpose of flattening your document, making it secure from being edited, and and it also allows that in those individuals to still receive the document to be read as it was created. So with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, any of those on any of those solutions that you may have, and you want to print it to a PDF, as of what is it, version 2016, which we should be in the 20s right now, 2022, 2023, or something like that, as far as Word is concerned. Office, Microsoft Office, and now it's called Office 365 product or O 365. Um, you should be able to, when you go and print your document, if you scroll down, if you have a list of printers, you like your local printers that you print paper to, if you scroll down a little bit, you should see an option that says Microsoft to PDF, Microsoft Print to PDF. You'll see something like that particular option. When you print that option, you select that option and you click print, it will pop up a window for where you want to save that particular document. Once you do that, it will create your document, convert your document into a PDF. It's just that simple. And I know a lot of people haven't really paid attention to that, but it is there. It's definitely there. Now, if it's not, there may be because you don't have the update to the old 365 on your system. But then, like I say, with ESUS, PDF editor, an awesome solution, $79.99. And I'm sharing this with you as from a tech standpoint, not from a point of making any money. I'm making $0 from this, zero. But my frustration has gotten me to this point to where, you know what, I just need to share this with anyone who maybe have either gone through what I've been going through when it comes to Adobe, especially with Adobe Acrobat, or maybe they haven't yet and they're just trying to figure it out, or maybe you're looking at, hey, I just may need that tool just in case. So check them out. and see what you think about that. And get your own opinion on it. For you tech guys that are still out there, you may find some of the other tools very useful, especially if you're still in the field and you're working with servers and hard drives, and you're working in PC repair centers, and you're having to troubleshoot hard drives and all kinds of stuff like that. They have tools that does it all. They also have another great tool for data recovery, and I just helped a friend out. They gave me a flash drive that you would stick in your machine, and it would come up as this flash drive has not been formatted. And my buddy told me, he said, no, my wife said that there was stuff on there. She can't see it now. And I don't know what in the world's going on. She don't know what in the world's going on. Everything is lost. And I said, just bring it to me and I'll take a look at it. Because back in the day, when I was in San Diego and working, and then also here when I was working in RTP, that was some of the stuff that we did. We did data recovery. So Jesus has a tool, a data recovery tool, and I purchased the tool. I purchased the tool. I took that flash drive. That when it popped it in my machine, and sure enough, they wanted to format it. Do not format the drive. That's the key. Do not format the drive. I put it in there. I ran the software. It scanned it, and I got all her data back. And it was all readable. Everything as if it had never been deleted. That's the kind of tools that they have. Those are those life-saving tools. Those tools that is the equivalent of like your whole life is on this flash drive. You've done all this work. You put it on this flash drive, and you have lost. If you don't get it back, you've lost everything. Well, with tools like that, you get stuff back. You get things back, and I was proof of that. I went from showing zero on that flash drive to getting almost 5 gigs of data back. And when you click on it, pictures, documents, whatever, everything worked. She said everything came back. She got all the stuff, and I was so happy to hear that because when I saw the files coming back, I was like, yeah, yeah, this takes me back to old times. But just think about that. Think about and know that when you're trying to do something, before you lose your mind, do a little research and always look for an alternative, especially if they want you to pay out of the pocket for like crazy. And like I said, with Adobe Acrobat, because I was like, I like to buy my software out and not have to have subscriptions all the time. But we like, for example, with Microsoft, there is there are free tools out there nowadays that are just as good. But a lot of people don't know about them because there's another tool called Open Office, and it's an open source Office suite, and it's called Open Office. Let me see if I can um, give you guys the actual uh, link to it. It's called Open Office, and it's by Apache. And here's another, and it has all the tools as if it was a Microsoft Office. Of course, granted, it's not going to look as beautified. Well, actually, the newer version does look pretty doggone good. But Open Office is another tool that you can use when it comes to documents, spreadsheets, uh, slideshows, for presentations, database, all kinds of different things. These are definitely tools there. Another one, of course, we all know it. We use it. Probably 90% of us use it every day, but not really realize it. And that is uh, Google Workspace, Google Docs. When you log into your email, when you log into your Gmail, and you see your photo or letter of your name up in the top right corner, just to the left of that, you see a little block of, of dots. When you click on those dots, you'll see in there numerous tools that Google offers. And some of those tools are Docs, which is equivalent to Word, Sheets, which is equivalent to Excel, Forms, which is another one. You got the other one for presentation. I forget what it's called. But just look at some of those tools and look for those alternatives. And Open Office and the Google Space stuff is free. So you don't always have to go with the name brand stuff, especially if you're just trying to create something nice but simple. And you're on the go. Let's say you're on the go and you don't have something, but you have your phone. You can create that stuff on your phone, and make it easy for yourself. I can't tell you the number of times that I've created forms uh, through the Google Forms. And actually, what's the beauty of creating Google Forms is that you can take it and set it to populate all the data retrieved from that's entered into the forms into a Google sheet that then you can have as a CSV, which then you can do a whole bunch of different things with, like mail, for, like, how you do your mail merge, things of that nature. You want to do any type of CSV for separating out certain data. That's what CSV stands for, comma separated values. So in that, when the spreadsheet looks at it, each field, in between each field there's a comma, and then you can convert that to a full Excel spreadsheet, which is the worksheet, which has mathematical equations and so on and so forth. So there's a lot that you can do as it relates. I know I probably talked off the ears, but I just wanted to share this with you, especially about these PDF editors. Um, just really got on my nerves, and I had the opportunity to sit here today, especially being that we're kind of just locked in with the weather right now. I'm not going out. I'm not 100%. I was a little down earlier in the starting of the week, but I'm doing a lot better now. But just take a moment to look at some of these tools. Take a moment to look at some of these alternatives, and if they help you, uh, fine, great. If they don't, they don't. But I am just sick of the different subscriptions. Just like soon as Adobe did the subscription model, guess who else did the subscription model? You guessed it, Microsoft. Microsoft went to, after 2019, you couldn't purchase. I think it's after 2019, you couldn't purchase another physical version of the software without it costing an arm and a leg. But you can get the subscription for, now I will say that they are fair, a lot fairer than Adobe Acrobat, because with Microsoft's Office 365, you can get the annual subscription, which costs $99.99, $100. It really fills me how we do that whole uh, dot 99 as if we just can't go to a full dollar. Um, but it's $100 a year, and the beauty of it is you get the full entire Office suite, and it's for machines, six machines. So, and they can run simultaneous. So that's the beauty. So I don't fault Microsoft too much, because there was a point where they were constantly updating their software, especially after version 2016, 2013. After version 2013, it just seemed like they were always adding something new, something more enhanced. So I can't fault them as much. The only ones that I really fault, like I say, is Adobe, because of the way they do things, and they don't and when it comes to monitoring, oh my God, like I say, you got that Creative Cloud. running on your machines at all times. If you look down there and you got Adobe products in, if you don't turn it off, you'll see it. You'll see the little creative flower, which is the kind of swirled infinity, which is two backward C's. Um, you'll see it's just un just I it should be unethical for them to be on your machine connected to your machine. But somehow or another they're getting around. But um, that's all I got right now. But if you guys have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. And let me just go back over this chat real quick. Yeah, and Ali, like I said, you have Open Office and you have the Google. If you have a Gmail account, use your Google Docs. You can use that for sure. And let's see. Alicia, yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat for you. Don't hesitate. Michael, it's good to see you. Icy Stan, always a pleasure, my brother. Another tech head in here for sure. But yeah, yeah, all eyes on me, DJs, Mike L and Icy Stan. Yes, indeed. I got my man Pierre. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just sitting here giving a few tech tips. Um, I had a moment to do that. So, but definitely, like I said, alternative. Adobe Acrobat, which is a great tool, and it has been a great tool. I've used it for decades. But when they started literally expiring your purchased software, that really, really just struck a nerve. And then forcing you to do these subscriptions. It should not have to. It should not be that. You should have that choice. You should not be forced to make that choice. That's why when I talk to people about Apple products, about how when they force you with these OS updates, how they only will take your machine. Like, for example, your good machine that has been working for you for a long time, it gets to a certain point with the updates, and you can't go any further because they say that the equipment inside or the components inside are not compatible with the new OS. But I asked the question of Apple one time and I never got an answer back, and that was, what's so special in the OS that my 1 year or 2 year old machine, according to the OS that came out in that particular year, is not compatible? And why didn't you make it backwards compatible to support that? And I never got an answer. And that told me that it was about money. The first time, think about it like this now. The first time back in, what was it, 2010, 2010 or 2012, when they came out with the MacBook Airs, and they changed the power port. They changed the power port, and you had to purchase this little a $10 adapter. That should have showed you something right there, that it was all about the money at that point. Because what did that power port have to do with anything besides making an extra $10 for a converter? And all it is straight through wire to another set of pins that's slightly positioned to the left or to the right. I'm just saying. All right. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you. Ali, you can always reach out and let me know if you need help with anything. Pierre, it's definitely a pleasure to see you as always, man. I hope all is well up there. And rest of the fam, Icy Stan, Mike L, good to see you guys. Alicia, same. If you have any issues, don't hesitate to reach out. And take a look at these links. You'd be surprised at how much money you can save just doing a little research, which I always do research all the time, especially when it comes to tech stuff, because, like I say, I'm limited with a lot of things I can do now. So I try my best. It's not the greatest, but I do try to keep my mind somewhat fresh when I can, when it's not a little cloudy. But anyway, nonetheless, on that point, I won't speak no more on that. But just let me know what I can do for you, and we'll go from there. You guys take care. Good always talking to you, and hope to see you guys soon. And hopefully, we can get together and do some more of this. Maybe I'll come with some more tech tips or something like that for you, just to kind of let you know what's going on. Y'all take care. Peace out.